Hey VC, it's Jonathan, the cheap and cheerful record collector. I hope you're all doing well out there today. We have a radio station here in Portland called WMPG, which is the college station, and a great station. I think you can get them online and stuff. Definitely worth checking out. They have some great shows. But once a year, they do a big record sale where they sell records and CDs, etc., etc. They used to have it in their gymnasium, but they're doing construction. They tore the gymnasium down, so now they just do it outside, and it's a lot smaller than it used to be. But they sell all their records for $1 each. And I went there yesterday, and I got 20 records for $20. It's what I do. So let's start off and show you what I got. First out of the box is a Canadian pressing, Howlin' Wolf. This is his Greatest Sides, Volume 1. This was put out in 1985, and they're all recordings from 1954 to 1965. Down on the bottom, recorded 61, Sitting on Top of the World, 1957, with, again, Hubert Summerlin on guitar, Smokestack Lightning, Red Rooster, Spoonful, all the classics, and on the beautiful chess purplish blue label. So yeah, nice start of the sale. It was funny, the sale, they advertised that the sale started at 10 o'clock. So I left my house at 9:30, got there a quarter to 10, and there were already about 20 people digging through the records. So I sort of keep thinking of all the stuff I missed out on. But anyway, number one. Number two, this is a real find. Mississippi John Hurt. This is called Last Sessions on Vanguard. These were all recorded in 1966, even though the album did come out in 1972. Big fan of Mississippi John Hurt, and I got to see him once or twice back in the day. It's on the Vanguard stereo label. Yeah, the Last Sessions, he passed away right after that, I guess. And he has on here Joe Turner Blues, Further Along, Waiting for You with Patrick Sky on guitar with him, Good Morning Carrie, also Patrick Sky, You've Gotta Die, Goodnight Irene, etc. So really great Mississippi John Hurt, The Last Sessions. I haven't listened to any of these yet, so I gotta clean them all. I can't spin them until I've been given a decent wet cleaning. So there you go, Mississippi John Hurt. Sticking with the blues, I picked up Fenton Robinson. I Hear Some Blues Downstairs on Alligator Records. This is a 1977 pressing. If you don't know Fenton Robinson, he played with Junior Wells, Sonny Boy Williamson, Otis Rush, etc. So he's been around, and it's on a white Alligator label. Sort of cool. Fenton Robinson, great guitar player. Looking to dig into this soon. Give that a spin. Then I got a couple of, this next artist, I have none of his records until today, and now I got 3. So the first one is his first album from 1970, and it's Bruce Coburn. This is self-titled. There he is. This is a Canadian pressing, gatefold. And I really don't know much about Bruce Coburn. I've seen the name around. I probably couldn't pick him out of the lineup. But I'm looking forward to listening to some Bruce Coburn on True North label. So again, for $1 each, I got 3 of his records. This is his first pressing, first release from 1970. The next one is, excuse me a second, get this in here. Next one is called Sunwheel Dance from 1971. And the third one from him is called In the Falling Dark from 1976. The first two were Canadian pressing. This is a United States pressing. So you got 3 Bruce Coburn albums. Then last week, our local bank was having a thank you to the customers, or actually credit union was having a thank you to their customers, and they had a big party, and they had free food, and blah, 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 and they had a band, and the band was John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. 50 years they've been on the road recording and playing music. So when I saw this for $1, I had to grab this. Eddie and the Cruisers, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. They were great in concert. I mean, it's sort of like a poor man's Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Had that same kind of feel. But they were fun. It was a fun little listen, so I had to pick that up for $1. Next couple of records are all bluegrassy country kind of records. First one is Mike Aldridge, who was with a band called The Seldom Scene. And this is his album, 8-String Swing. Great player. Every time I see an album by him, I pick it up. This is on Sugar Hill Records. One of those labels that I always grab whenever I see Sugar Hill Records. Mike plays the dobro on this album and rhythm guitar. He's a great musician. So grab that one. Another guitar player mandolin player that people may not know a lot about is the next guy. His name is Oren Starr. And this is his album, No Frets Barred. And this is on Flying Fish. Another one of those labels I always grab whenever I see. And there he is with all his instruments in the back there. So yeah, I have one record by him that I picked up again at Goodwill last year. I'd never heard of him, but again, it was so cheap I couldn't pass it up, and I really loved it. So he plays guitar and mandolin on this album too. And this is from 1980. Let me look at my cheat sheet here. Oren Starr, 1982. Another bluegrassy guy is Mark O'Connor, fiddle player extraordinaire. And this is from 1987, and it's his album, Stone from Which the Arch Was Made. And it's on Warner Brothers. Nothing special there, but yeah, Chet Atkins plays on here with him, which is Jerry Douglas on here, Bella Fleck. Who else they got? John McCutcheon, etc. So Mark O'Connor. And one more. How about the Red Clay Ramblers, Hard Times, from 1981. Another country kind of band, and this is on Flying Fish Records. So yeah, looking forward to cleaning all those up and getting into them. Next one, I have 1 or 2 by her, and you can always pick her records up really inexpensive, but she's so great. And it's Rory Block. And this is her album, Rhinestones and Steel Strings. Great blues singer, guitar player. Sort of in the Bonnie Raitt vein, but a little rawer, a little more tough. Like her a lot. And is on Rounder. I've told the story before. Her father used to own a sandal shop in Greenwich Village back in the 60s. And his father's name was Alan Block. He also played banjo and fiddle. And we used to always go into that shop, and you'd go in, they'd put your foot on a piece of paper, draw a picture of your outline of your foot, and you come back the next week and have a pair of sandals made for you. I think they were like $5 or something, who knows. And all musicians used to always hang out at the sandal shop, and there's always someone there, and Rory Block was always a little kid hanging out there listening to the music. So I have a soft spot for that. I remember going there as a kid. Next one is sort of haven't heard much by him at all, so I figured I'd give it a try. And it's Chip Taylor. And this is Saint Sebastian. The only thing I know about Chip Taylor is that he wrote Wild Thing. So, and he has a number of albums out. So again, I don't really know nothing about this record. except that it's Chip Taylor. It was $1, and it was a clean condition, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And I got a couple of jazz albums, again, I couldn't pass up. This band just passed away about 2 weeks ago, and it's Ahmed Jamal. And this is his album, Live at Bubba's. I don't know where Bubba's is. Live at Bubba's recording. Fort Lauderdale. This is from 1981. And this is on the digital master, so it was right at that time when everything was going digital. They thought it was cool. And this is Who's Who in Jazz is the label. And it's just a trio. Recorded March 20th, 1980 in Fort Lauderdale at Bubba's. So anything by Ahmed Jamal, I always pick up. Speaking of jazz, here's one from 1988, and it's Harry Sweets Edison. And this is, he plays trumpet and does some vocals on here. Buster Cooper on trombone. Recorded 1988 in Hollywood on the Pablo label. Again, another one of those jazz labels that always put out good stuff and always pick up fairly inexpensive. So, Harry Sweets Edison. Now the next one is a real find. She was a great guitar player. I have one album of hers where she plays with Larry Coryell, and her name was Emily Remler. And this is her album, Catwalk. Emily, this is from 1985. She died at 32 years old, heroin overdose in Australia when she was on tour there, but a great, great guitar player. Always looking for stuff by her. This actually is like a $40-some-odd medium price at Discogs. So for $1, I was real happy to get a record by Emily Remler. Stick with the jazz, one more jazz album, and this is another one on Pablo, and this is Zoot Sims, I Wish We Were Twins. Has Zoot Sims on tenor, soprano sax, Jimmy Rollins on piano, who's great, Frank Tate on bass, and Akira Tana on drums. Recorded July 1981. And again, it's on a Pablo label. So yeah, that's the jazz albums I got. Now the next one I bought, because it looked interesting, and it wasn't until I got home I realized I had it with a totally different cover, and there was no reason to think it was the same record. This one is called Jug Band Music and Rags of the South, featuring Maria Muldaur and Josh Rifkin. And when I got home, I started looking up, and I realized it is the same album as the original called The Even Dozen Jug Band. But this has like 4 more songs in it. This was a repress. This one I think came out in 63 or 64, and this came out in 1970s, 1980s on Everest. So it's a repress. But there's no reason to think they're the same record. But it's exactly the same record. On this record has featured many, many people besides Maria Muldaur and Josh Rifkin, who became famous later on. You have Stephen Grossman, Steve Grossman, Maria Muldaur, Josh Rifkin, David Grisman, and John Sebastian. So, Even Dozen Jug Band Music of the South. Turns out to be the same record. It happens. For $1, I'm not worried about it. And I got 2 more. This one I've been looking for a while to find one, and this is in really good condition. Though the cover's has a little tape on it, but the record looks really super clean. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up and give it a spin. And it's a ZZ Top Rio Grande Mud. Original pressing, 1972, on London. So I have a bunch of ZZ Top, but I don't have the first 1 or 2. I don't have their first album, and I didn't have this one until now. So I'm really happy to grab that certainly for $1. And last but not least, is the great Neville Brothers album Yellow Moon. I used to have this on cassette, listen to it all the time when it came out. So I'm really glad to get this on vinyl. There's the label. Also, it is a gold promo sticker up there in the corner. And this is a great album. Includes Yellow Moon, of course, Sister Rosa, They Do With God on Our Side, Dylan song, Ballad of Hollis Brown, another Dylan song, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, just great, great stuff. So yeah, the Neville Brothers, Yellow Moon. So there you go, 20 for 20. 20 records for $20. That's how I roll. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Give me a thumbs up. And until next time, peace.